Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. This is GGJ and this is a special Real Talk. As you can see, the boys over at Fate have done me this whole new graphical stuff, banners and all that good stuff. Now, because on this week's Real Talk, I basically spoke to Lazy and Spunky from the EU top leading team Torpedo. Didn't have a chance to go over the Paladins World tournament and all the fixtures and what happened in them games. So what's going to happen today is there's going to be this video to cover it. Sound good? Good. Right, moving on. We're going to start with NA. Now, massive shout out to I Hold Shift Alan. Heart this guy. Give the guy some respect and lots of love for this guy. If you see him, say hi. Awesome guy. Went out, casted all the tournament, literally from start till finish. All the games he could possibly cast, he did. Had up some fancy stats and good overlays and all that stuff and made a real good show of it. Again, POV, but like I said, from my point of view, from his point of view, from Tatatel's point of view, and all the other casters out there, there's nothing we can do about that. We have to go off that, so we do encourage people to stream. We do apologize for having to point of view stream, so basically stealing your viewers and stuff like that, but it's just to showcase the tournaments and so forth and so on. Of course, what we're going to do for EU is I'm going to cast, Alan's going to do the NA side of things, and of course we'll give the streamers who were POVing all credit and advertise their stream and make sure everything's hunky-dory and we're all good to go. Right, NA. So let's have a look at the current standing. In rank 1 is Hold M1 Gaming. 6 wins, 0 losses, 100% win ratio, 200 points. Where have we seen this one before? Ronin coming up, 3 wins, 3 losses, 50% win ratio with 85 points. Renegades up in 3rd, picking up 3 wins, 1 loss, 75% win ratio with 60 points. Benched and Warpath Gaming down in 4th and 5th. Currently joint 4th, 5th on 50 points. Now these are the two teams that, first of all, coming out of the bat were like, okay, you know, there's a lot of people riding on these guys. A lot of Bench and Warpath have a lot of fans, believe it or not. These guys are, you know, coming out, and same with Back to Basics, but Bench and Warpath just have that little bit of an edge, and so forth. Anyway, apparently Exile is ranked 3rd, as you can see there. It ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is supposed to be 6, not 3. Just pointing it out, Ken, Dave. Exile down in 6th with 2 wins, 3 losses, 40% ratio, win ratio with 35 points. Back to Basics, I'm a fan of. I like these guys. Sticking at it. And this is something I want to give credit to. All the teams that are just sticking together and saying, you know what, no, we're going to hammer and nails this, fight it, pick up the people we can, work together, improve as a team, and go forth. And Back to Basics, Warpath, Benched, all these guys, massive shout out to. So Back to Basics sitting on 1 win, 2 losses. You know, obviously not getting very far in the current status at the minute. Maybe they're not adapting, I don't know. It's a shame really, but it's, you know, they're mid-table, so you know they're bottom, not really bottom half. Sitting on 30%, 33.33% win ratio with 15 points. They're actually joint with Woot in 8th, and yeah, 1 win, 2 wins, 2 losses, sorry, again 15 points. After that is Ripple Esports sitting on 1 win and 2 losses, again 50% win ratio. Now let me just explain something about the win ratio on how that stands. Basically, the more you put in, the more percentage you're going to get. If you come in and you've won 1 match and you've lost 1 and you're out, and then you get 50% ratio. And so you can see Ripple Esports 1-1 sitting on 10 points. A Dire Diplomacy 0 wins, 1 loss, 0% ratio, but they're sitting down there with 5 points. Same with G Team Academy and Zenith Black. Now NA scene is amazing, and I want to give props out to every single team that's participating. There's more and more teams, and there was more teams this week, just tournament just gone, than there was in the whole of the EU. Like EU, we had 11, 12, and like NA's growing. There's more teams signing up, and you know what? Applaud to you. Well done. I love this. I love it a lot. EU, there's been some disbandments of teams. You know, not being able to find or fill rosters, as it were. That's a shame. It's a real shame, actually, because EU has some great potential. The teams over in the EU are very strong. But the two main runners in the entirety of Paladins, Hold M1 and Torpedo. These guys have 200 points apiece, won both weeks, and I'm telling you what, if I could cast those two, you know, they're real contenders right now. Now, of course, we don't know pre-season tournaments, standings and stuff like that. We don't know if we're going to continue this all the way up till launch tournament and we start getting into, you know, the lands and all that stuff. And in season 1, will our standings from pre-season tournaments, i.e. these ones, our seedings at the end of it, will they continue over to season 1 to make sure that we don't, you know, maybe we don't have random teams and we actually get seeded? That would be nice. Would be very nice, in fact. However, we don't know. What I'll do is you'll probably see the screen move now, because this is basically, whoop, there it is, and you can see the bottom half of that. This is coming up direct off the site, and all I do, but I'm supposed to go EU, and Europe, doink, and let's see if I can get it right. I was actually shown how to do this with buttons, but I'm thick. I'm just going to use a mouse slider. You know, there we go. Right. In first place, Torpedo GG, 6 wins, 0 losses, 100% win ratio, 200 points. Team question mark 2QM, sitting on 5 wins, 2 losses, 71.43%, 120 points. Fate Esports, sitting in a comfortable third now, with 4 wins, 2 losses, 66.67%, 80 points. Death and Taxes, sitting in 4th with 2 wins, 2 losses, 50% ratio, obviously, 25 points. No Elves down in 5th, 1 win, 2 losses, 33.3%. They're actually joint 5th with No Name Esports, 1 win apiece, 2 losses each, 33.33%, both sitting on 20 points. Doomsday Bunnies, I'm glad these guys have stuck around. It was really nice to see this. Cool name, by the way, like it. Doomsday Bunnies, 1 apiece, 50% ratio. They are actually mixed apiece, all the way down from what we're sitting at 7th, all the way down to 9th. I know it's not 9th, is it? Is it 9th? Yeah, it's 9th. Doomsday Bunnies, 4 times 4 equal 12. Shake It Off, and Arkham, all sitting on 10 points. Team Injustice and a special team, Team Time Prime. Woo! My team, of course, you know, picking up the last spot there. I'm quite happy with that. I'm okay with that. You know, we'll continue to compete, and we'll gradually build our way up as other teams don't play and stuff. Or the simple fact is we'll get knocked out every week and we'll still gather our 5 points. But either way, you know, who cares? So top 12 teams there. Now Torpedo continue their rate of success. Team question mark though. Are they the team to knock Torpedo off their pedestal? Who knows? They had beaten them before. You never know. Fate Esports, quite a way ahead in front of Death and Taxes. Fate's got to do basically go out first round, but obviously we get put through into the quarterfinals for anybody to actually catch us now. Death and Taxes, No Elves, No Name. All these teams are very capable of catching up to Fate. Is a long way to go. Obviously sitting on 10 points, 20 points, 20 points, 25. You know, it's a shame, but very close. And of course, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens between Death and Taxes, No Elves, and No Name. All them positions can change. Same for NA, Woot Gaming, Ronin, Exile, and all that lot. Everything can change. All it takes is one good run in the tournament, and of course, everything changes. Everybody switches. How cool! It's really exciting. This is the type of thing we're after. This is what we're looking for. You know, the teams doing really well. But what I'm most excited to see is, like, I get updated on Death Taxes, No Elves, No Name every day. Literally, I do. In Discord, people are saying, "Oh yeah, Jay, this, that, and the other." It's great. It's lots of gossip. You know, the people are gossip queens. It's great. Drama, whatever. Bring it. Let's go. But the thing is, they're all sticking together. You know, some teams, I'm not going to say any names, some teams are having issues trying to fill rosters, but they're getting in ringers to help out and stuff like that. And you know what? They're sticking together, and I'm really happy for that. I was really worried that some of the big names were going to crumble and fall apart and stuff like that. Arkham are sticking together. You know, they're getting new players in, and they're doing well now, and they're starting to scrim again. One team I really, really want to see is Overamuse. I want them to continue playing. I want them to, you know, stick to the guns and stay there. And you know, it's right now they're sitting probably 13th, 14th, maybe 15th. I'm not 100% sure. Of course, the list only goes up to top 12 there. Now, I really do. I want Overeem Moves to compete. I want them to come back into the EU scene. I want them to, even if they're losing, it doesn't matter. You know, you're competing. You're putting your name out there. You're getting that competitive experience in the tournaments, and I want that. I will continue to participate myself in Tea Time Prime with ringers, whoever wants to get basic experience into tournaments. Even if we go out first round, doesn't matter. We're going to still compete and try and help out with numbers and stuff like that the best we can. Another team that just picked up a new person is Death and Taxes. I know the person, but of course I've been asked not to mention certain things for the team's well-being and stuff like that, so I will not divulge who that is. But Death and Taxes just picked up a new fifth, a very strong fifth actually, and you know what? They might be giving Fate a bit of a run for their money. We shall see. No Elves, like in scrims, these guys have beat Fate. They've beat Death and Taxes. And Elven's team really, really looking strong. Hopefully they compete, and like depending on their, because of how they've gone out first round a couple of times, it's like really tricky for them. The same with No Name and Doomsday and Bunnies. But Doomsday and Bunnies have a great name. I'm just going to point that out there now. Have a great game. Great name, not game. I haven't seen them play. I haven't, and it's a shame. But 4x4, I've seen lots of play. I've been in the comms when the guys are playing them. I've played against them myself when we're scrimming. Shake It Off. Shake It Off are a bit of a, not a new team. They've been around before, obviously. They've participated in 2 open pre-season tournaments now, obviously. 1 win, 1 loss. And I know, is that right? Was it 2 or was it just once? But they have been around before. I swear they have. Or am I thinking of a different one? But anyway, you know, it's really good to see them. Arkham, sorry, I keep saying Arcane. Arkham. I want to see a little bit more from them. I want them to continue scrimming. And obviously I know teams are struggling because certain people can't be at certain places at certain times. And like EU, we've got in the Discord, you just see looking for scrim, and like we don't see them much, and it's a little, it's very upsetting. But hopefully we shall see them participate more, and of course pick up some wins. That'd be great. Just getting that 1 win on their name, that would be outstanding. Team Injustice, I know nothing about this team, but you know what? I think they're gonna stick around as well. I'm really hoping they do. And we'll see. Tea Time Prime, obviously my little team, we're going to continue to compete and stuff like that. Right, now I've gone over to EU, I want to switch it all the way back over to NA. I'm going to just switch it back over one more time. Bear with me, people, because I just want to talk about a couple of teams here that, quite frankly, you need to know. And where are they? There we go. Now, I went over the standings and everything like that. Now, G-Time Academy, brand new. Zenith Black, I think, have been around a while. But G-Time Academy, they were a new team coming into the preseason tournaments. And the Renegades. Now, I've asked around, and of course I'm not slating Renegades or anything like that, or any of the NA scene. Please understand that. This is just my personal opinion. They're using, you know, a Renegades. You know, there's an organisation called Renegades. What if Renegades wanted to come into, you know, Paladins? What, do you force them to take on this team? Or, you know, maybe they've approached the organisation. Who knows? Any thoughts? Leave a comment below, because I would love to know. I really want to know if these guys are associated with the organisation. That'd be great to know. There is 4 teams that I am looking forward to seeing the most. Ronin. Right? These guys came out of nowhere and just dominated the field. Right? Benched, Warpath, and Exile. My God, how close are these teams? Let's just quickly look over it. Now, Ronin up in second. Not, you know, Bench, Warpath, Exile. They can all catch these guys, right? Bench sitting on 50 points. Warpath sitting on 50 points. Exile down in 35 points. You know, they've had 2 wins. They've had 3 losses. Whereas, you know, Bench is sitting on 4-2. And Warpath are sitting on 2-2. So, my question is, how are benched on 50 points when they're sitting at 4 wins, 2 losses? Now, I was under the impression, now I may be wrong, but there was a 1 game deficit disqualification for one of the teams. Now, I wasn't told which team on NA, and I watched it, and I can't bloody remember, and it's doing my head in. I should have, you know what, when I watch these streams, I'm going to freaking write it down. But, that because of a foul beacon placement, it was not allowed to, you've got to have it on the floor now. And there wasn't. And sadly, one of the teams, it must have been benched. It must have, because there's no reason for bench to be on 50 points and Warpath Gaming to be on 50 points when bench have won 4 games and 2 losses, and Warpath are on 2 wins and 2 losses. Okay, so that could explain it. I may be wrong, but of course I will try and follow up on this. This is why I wanted to come back to this, just to show people this, because I called it and I was like, hang on a minute, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. However, another team I'm looking forward to seeing, there's 2 teams actually, Ripple Esports and Zenith. Zenith Black, they're participating, not getting quite good results, but they're sticking at it. And, I've seen these guys very active in the Discord and on the forums, in fact, and all props up. Well done to you guys. Ripple Esports, they picked up a win and then they got knocked out, but, 50% win ratio sitting on them 10 points. That's not bad. You're out of the first round. You're into the quarterfinals. You lost in the quarterfinals. Okay. But you can always improve, right? This now puts you through to the quarterfinals, and you might not... No, because you won... No, you lost out in the quarterfinals, so you're back into the first round, yes. So if they can repeat that result, that's 20 points, okay? Now, back to basics. Ripple or whoever do not participate, not Ripple, sorry, because that's who we're talking about, do not participate, Ripple can then move up, and of course the standings will alter, and it would be really... I would love to see Dire Diplomacy, Ripple, and G-Team, Zenith, and all that pick up some wins, get themselves on the board. Yes, they're getting them 5 points, but moving up, that's what I want to see. I would love to see these teams improvement. And you can tell each week when I put this out, what I'm going to do is look at the tier, the things right now. If I was to make a tier list like I was asked to in one of the comments of before last week's, I do believe, Hold'em one, Ronin, you're sitting at your S tier. A tier is Renegades Bench, maybe and Warpath. Then you've got B to C, which was XL back to basics Ripple, and then C is Diplomacy, G Team, Zenith. Right? Now I could do that for EU, but everything flips over, and hopefully we get a patch tonight, which is today's day. I do believe, what is it, 26th? I think, yeah, 26th. 26th, yeah, I just had to look. 26th, hopefully, because this will be going out tonight. 26th we'll be getting a patch, but everything changes every time, and we have to adapt. Now I want to see which teams adapt to patches quicker than others, because obviously scrim results tell a big thing. Now, going off scrim results, EU's looking very, top 4 teams. Who knows? I'm a little scared because, Death and Tax is picking up a new main roster player who's extremely strong and adapting so fast to a patch. And who knows? We need the patch sooner rather than later so that teams can have that time to get used to it. NA have a whole entire day more than EU, so EU's where we're going to see some sort of new meta form, how they're going to adjust and so forth, but we'll see. But anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this little show. It's not very long, but I want to go over the I don't want to miss a week where I go over the Paladins World Tournament sponsored by Hirez and stuff like that, because it's very important to keep the stats up and make it so everybody can see what's going on. NA and EU, I'm going to cover it. Alan, I hold shift, will be over on NA doing that. I will do my very best to cast the EU side of things, and we'll see. It's just that we don't have many EU streamers now, and some of the streamers don't want their stream sniped basically by a caster. And you can't blame them if they're they're trying to get the viewers up and maybe get Twitch partnership and stuff like that. So forward, straight up, no problem. We will ask. What we do is we'll ask their permission. Hopefully, we'll get at least some of the games casted for EU this week. But anyway, I am GGJ. You can follow me down there at jkilvic on Twitter. And of course, if you're new to my channel, I hope you're enjoying this content. If you do, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I will see you, wonderful people, next week. See you for now.